Look, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I did not grow up with Nintendo. I mean, yeah, sure. I had some of the handheld consoles. I've got a Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP. Yeah, sure. But I never owned a Nintendo console when I was younger. When it was the 16-bit era, I had a Mega Drive. When it was the 32-bit era, or was it 64-bit? I think it was the first 3D games. I had a PlayStation 1. A generation after that, I had a PlayStation 2. It was only since last generation that I had a Nintendo console, the Wii. So, maybe my lack of commitment to Nintendo makes me instantly not qualified. But at the same time, as a person looking in, a person who is thinking of getting a Nintendo console, the Wii U, a person looking in, maybe that does give me some right to say what I think. Nintendo, why aren't you using your online platform? I mean, I only know, 5 games that you have that have online multiplayer. And 2 of them ain't even out yet. Mario Kart, Monster Hunter, Smash, Splatoon, and there's another one that's got online multiplayer, but it's eluding me here. It is eluding me so bad and it's irritating me. I'm sure someone's going to point out in the comments. Nintendo, why is it that you only have around 4 or 5 online multiplayer games, and yet you've got, 6... pretty much every other game you've got that's got a form of multiplayer is local? I mean, maybe I just don't get that Nintendo's trying to keep that whole local charm. Well, you can still have a local multiplayer, but you can also have an online multiplayer at the same time. There's nothing stopping you. It seems to me where it's like, okay, can we get a lot of local multiplayer? No? Well, let's go ahead and make it online. It's like, to me, it's like they're scared of online. It's like they think it's a dirty thing. It's like how Miyamoto said very recently that open world is a dirty term. No, it's not a dirty term. It's not a dirty term. Open world, it means a vast, wide open world. Just I just said it there. Open world, it's vast, it's wide, it gives you the freedom to do things. That's open world. How is that a dirty word? That's like saying you don't like open world games, and that's weird because you called your most recent Zelda game an open world game, and now it's like you're making it sound like it's not actually open world. And that worries me. But we're not ranting about the new Zelda open world, maybe not open world. We're talking about Nintendo, and it's just apparent fear of its multiplayer platform. I mean, there are a ton of... You've got a lot of IPs, Nintendo. You have got a lot of them. And a lot of them could work really, really good with online multiplayer. Take the new Star Fox that you didn't bother mentioning that much. I mean, I think it was a single sentence in your Nintendo Treehouse, which is kind of a dick move there, guys, because that's actually a game I was generally excited for. How good would Star Fox be if it was online multiplayer? And you don't need to be stupid 60 people, customizable ships. Yeah, no. Just 4-player co-op, online co-op, or 8-player versus, a team of 4 against a team of 4. The original Star Fox, Star Wolf against Star Fox. I would love to see that in a Star Fox game. If it was like how Star Fox 64 was, that'd be awesome. But here's the real kicker, okay? There's a game that you showcased quite a bit, actually, that I really am actually, like, to me, Smash, okay, relatively excited for that. That Splatoon thing, yeah, it looks fun. Hyrule Warriors, though, my god, that game looks like it's going to be so much fun. It's just like, oh, you got all these other characters. It's like, oh wow, maybe you can like play co-op with it. Local multiplayer only. It, come on! I would. Do you have any idea how much fun I would have playing this game with friends? I don't know what you're gonna say. Oh well, if you want to play with your friends, why don't you just go ahead and, just go over to theirs or bring your Wii U. My friends live in the States. Okay? All my friends who have a Wii U, they all live in the States. Okay? You're basically telling me to fork over £1,000 just to go over there and play a game of Hyrule Warriors. No. That is the reason why online multiplayer exists, Nintendo. We are not in 1990 anymore. The internet has broadened the number of people we can communicate with. In fact, hell, most of my friends are from the States. I got more friends in the States than I do here in England. And it's just, if I want to play with them, I can't just... We haven't mastered teleportation yet. So our next best thing is online multiplayer. And that's what we do. We like say, hey, is our game we've all got? Yeah, okay, let's play it online. And then we play games like Worms, we play games like 7 Days to Die, we play games like Team Fortress 2. Not as much, but we still play it. And it's just like, you seem to be afraid of that. Like, you seem to think that if... I don't know what your full mindset is, but I'm going to assume that your mindset is something along the lines of, oh... If we enable online multiplayer, then we won't be able to keep our vision that we've had since the 80s. Well, okay, Nintendo with if that's the case, like, as I said, I'm just speculating here, but if that's the case, then Nintendo is basically acting like my dad. My dad still is stuck in the 70s and 80s. As far as it goes with jobs, as far as it goes with fashion, as far as it goes with, like, how you look. It's like... This is the same thing. Nintendo's just like, no, this is how multiplayer should be. Well... I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not... As I said, I'm not saying get rid of the local multiplayer. Not at all, because... There generally will be people that want to play a game just locally. But the thing is, you can do local multiplayer and online multiplayer. I mean, by God, the Call of Duty series does it. And I hate that series. I was actually debating on ranting about this or ranting about Call of Duty today. But I decided to do this first because I recently saw that Hyrule Warriors, the game that I am most excited for, is only local multiplayer. Things are better with friends. Okay, with friends, you can get through the most difficult games, you can get through the worst games of all time when you play with friends. And I'm not saying that Hyrule Warriors is going to be a bad game or a boring game. As I said, quite the contrary. I think it looks amazing. It looks to me like if I were to play it, I would have so much fun. But you've killed some of that fun for me already, Nintendo. You've killed some of it because you're basically saying that I have to live nearby my friends, otherwise I can't play with them. That's not fair. That is not fair at all. In a world now where we're all connected by the internet, when we can communicate with people literally clear across the world, you can't just go ahead and lock out those people, who decide to make friends with people far away. That's like that's like saying that Nintendo of Japan cannot communicate with Nintendo of America because they're across the sea. It's like, you don't do that. It's one of those things. You don't. It's, to me, I don't get you, Nintendo. I get that you want to keep the philosophy you've had since you started this, but you gotta make some leeway. I mean, come on. It's like, I'm not asking for much. Just, you've got this multiplayer platform. Obviously, I don't have a Wii U, so I can't say. But from what I've heard, the platform's perfectly fine. There's none of that stupid friend code bullshit. It's very responsive. It apparently doesn't have very many lag issues. It's like, I mean, it's a very solid multiplayer system. But you're not utilizing it. You could compete with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One by demonstrating like the strength of your multiplayer platform. But you're not, and you're probably a lot of people are probably going to say, "Oh, well, it's because Nintendo doesn't want to compete." Well, like it or not, they have to. If they don't, then how are they going to get more people buying their console? How are they going to make the Wii U a success? How are they going to make the games that they sell a success? They need more people buying, and if that means that you have to, change a few things. I mean, I'm not saying that putting multiplayer in Hyrule Warriors will instantly, open the floodgates and send them all sprawling in. No. I understand that one game cannot buy a system. Unless you're Final Fantasy or Call of Duty, but that's besides the point. It's just... I want Nintendo to succeed. Because it's the last old school console developer out there. Okay, Nintendo's been making consoles since before I was born. And Sega, Sega's bowed out. Sega bowed out 2 generations ago. Nintendo is the last remnant of what I saw in the childhood. That old rivalry. And, God forbid, I don't want this console war to turn into a 2-man show. But, as it stands, Nintendo's just the third wheel. They're irrelevant. And I know a lot of people are thinking it's like, oh, but people don't like the console. Oh, it's Nintendo. People associated with kids' games. Well, granted. Okay, as I said, I don't own a Wii U, but I've played on a Wii U several times, both at university and at conventions, and I will agree that I'm not all entirely sold on the telling me it's an interesting concept, but I think I'd need to play a Wii U more in order to kind of adjust to it, which is, it could be problematic for some people. They might not have time to adjust to something and just want the good old, D-pad, analog sticks and all that kind of stuff. And of course, not weighing a whole lot, and for many people, myself included, being wired, I cannot stand wireless. And sure, people will probably, by default, put Nintendo next to kids. I get that, but being in this little bubble and not evolving, you don't have to evolve into something that we don't know, because then all of the Nintendo fans that have been with you for the 30 or so years would just be up in arms like, oh no, Nintendo's not like it was before. Well, here's the thing, okay? Will online multiplayer kill, this vision that Nintendo has if they still have local multiplayer? No, it would just be the vision of Nintendo, but now they also do online multiplayer. And a lot of people are going to argue, well, they already do because I mentioned those games. Yeah, that's only 4 games. And as I said, I'm sure there's a 5th one, but I can't remember it. Out of the entire library, only 4 big games that are played a lot online have online. All the others, like freaking Pokemon I don't fucking know what X and Y was it. Might as well call it just Pokemon copy and paste number 85. You know, has that Pokebank as such. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. That's a decent use of your multiplayer. Why don't you make it so that you can face people online? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can face people online, but it's like, yeah, why don't you make a console Pokemon game and give it online multiplayer? Why not Pokemon Stadium 2? I don't know what's Pokemon Stadium? Pokemon Coliseum. I don't know. I think it was Pokemon Stadium. Yeah, why not Pokemon Stadium 2? I think there's only been one Pokemon Stadium. You know, with online multiplayer. It's like import your data from Pokemon X and Y from your 3DS onto your Wii U, and then you can find people online on Pokemon Stadium. Do you have any idea how much that would sell? There would be people piling up to get a Pokemon Stadium game on the Wii U if it had online functionality. And I don't mean like leaderboards, I mean like actual, like you can face other players. And it's turn-based. You don't have to worry about lag because it's turn-based. I'm just saying that it is really difficult for me to want to get a Wii U as it stands. There's not a lot of games on the Wii U that interest me. I think there's only like 3 at best. Bayonetta 2, Smash, Star Fox, okay, 4, and Hyrule Warriors. There's only 4 games that interest me on the Wii U. 4! Only 4! And the thing is that only one of them has got confirmed online multiplayer. The others are either single player only, local multiplayer, or we have no clue. It's just, I don't get you, Nintendo. As I said, you can have your local multiplayer still, but for God's sake, give us online multiplayer. Utilize your multiplayer platform more. There's nothing to be afraid of. Okay? You're not gonna get hacked like the PlayStation Network did. You don't charge like the Xbox Live does. I mean, yeah, sure, you can argue PlayStation Plus, but you got a lot of good benefits from PlayStation Plus. And it's just, I don't get you, Nintendo. Why is it that you want players to be locked into the local area? I want to play games with my friends, but they're in the States. Why, are you telling me that I need to go live in the States now? That we all need to just converge on one city in the States and live there for the rest of our lives? No. That's not what I want to do. That's not what any of us want to do. We want to meet up, yeah, sure, but live together? Live nearby so we can have these big Nintendo parties? No, it's not. It's not worth it. You are not worth it. You gotta cut some slack. You gotta get out of this mentality. This is 2014, Nintendo. We communicate overseas now. Hell, Iwata, freaking, he can stream from Japan to E3 or to any press direct. In fact, that's what you do with your Nintendo Direct. You stream stuff globally. What's so different about that than putting... I'm just going to stop. I've been going around in circles for the last 20 minutes. You get my point. I want Nintendo to utilize their online multiplayer platform more. Because there are so many games that they've got. So many games that could be amazing with multiplayer. What the prime example being Hyrule Warriors. Can you imagine a 4-player co-op mode with Hyrule Warriors? Just think about that. I'll catch you guys next time.